Top of morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome back to Jurassic Park. I'm joking. So, the where we left off, the Class 1A students saved Zuko with the pro heroes, and they, of course, Zumi punched a quirk doctor, and Todoroki understands why. So they grab Zuko, haul him to the away from or to the recovery girl, as he is just with all that and he's in like a coma, as everyone class 1A and 1B, as Todoroki couldn't believe that someone had to go, or those villains went too far just capturing this kid, his friend, and to just get forced to get cloned as and the way, or as Ochako is tearing up too, because she couldn't believe that someone, when she saw Zuko's face, is crying, it just broke her. She wanted, as he steps out to get some fresh air, as the class 1A and 1B knows that Ochakos feel so much doubt. So they all feel the same way. As All Might is just like, why are they, or like All Might is wondering about why does a All for One do that to poor Zuko. He was just young. As he's mad, or no, he's sad for Zuko, but he's also mad at how the villains treated Zuko. And Zumi, he is tearing up, like, as she couldn't believe that her brother, or like, at first she says, she says, I can't believe my brother is in a coma because of, as she, like, they know that she wants to punch a wall so bad, as Momo caught her fist, as she understands, or Momo understands why she wanted him to, as he tells him, or no, she tells Momo that that kid, the one that's in a coma, as she understands Momo understands that she's also upset. As she says, I'm a worst sister ever. As all of them knows that he'll make it through. As she when she did the same thing what Ochako did when she called like her parents one. Like she was tearing up as she tells her mother to just because and when Jiro heard or no I keep saying Jiro Inko heard that Zuko was abducted from the news. So when she heard about it, she ran to the hospital with Asashi. Because at the time, Asashi was at home. But when she heard that, as they both came, as All Might says, good thing she called, by the way, because Zuko, as when the detective told her what happened, as Asashi, Inko, or of course Inko was so sad that she couldn't believe that her own son did have a quirk. It was as similar to her or to his sister. But he's also mad at the quirk doctor that told the lie to her. As Zuko's hearing this through his own ears when he's in a coma, as he slowly tries to open his eyes, as he looks around. As the nurses saw him trying to get up, as his eyes were like they looked from left to right, as his eyes, he was still, as he puts his own head or hand over his head, like, as the nurses tried to calm him down, that as the other ones went and told them that he's awake, he regained consciousness. He's regaining consciousness. As the class 1A, 1B came. Who are they? As Ochako, or actually Zumi, and says, well, these are friends. As he remembers Todoroki. Hey, Todoroki, what's up? Good to see you. Like, as he starts tearing up, as he says, I can't believe that as the detective and chief of police walked in, and the detective told or asked Zuko what happened. As he looks up at him, as he says, "I remember when at the age of 4, after got the quirk thing, and he said that he didn't have a quirk and I couldn't become a hero. And then after my mother abandoned me, then after that next thing I knew, I woke up in a test tube where I looked over and I saw a black, dark, masked man, and as All Might knows what's that description of black mask looking thing, as Zuko says, and I also saw the Quirk Doctor, the one that I saw a few minutes ago. As Zuko was basically the Zuko was basically telling the truth that he it was but that was, I didn't even know what time or year, anything, since after they hooked me up to the machine that cloned me after cloning. And took away my memories and gave them back and ripped them out, gave them back. It's like a endless cycle of torture. It was not pleasant. It wasn't at all. Plus, he was also couldn't believe that what hellish thing that he went through with those men. The All Might chose him as was I really never really met any of it. Yeah, for the first time. This is my first time. As Todoroki remembers that they have met the clone, so they told them that he might not remember. So they had to introduce themselves, like, I am Jiro. I'm a human Pikachu. And then, he remembers his sister and Todoroki and Hasane Makugo, as well as All Might. But then they like get introduced, like, so literally, basically, like, him, her, they all like introduce themselves, except for like Todoroki, Bakugo, and his sister. So yeah, when they all like, even class 1B too, as they care about him, as they couldn't believe that Mountain Lady was there, but she couldn't believe that at first she actually said to the one of the pro heroes that, he doesn't die, as she's like, my own brother, or no, that young kid went through a lot, so think positive, not flipping negative. Hey, Dead Arms? As, yeah. Because she knows that that boy went through some serious, or like super serious trauma. So they got introduced, as Endeavor couldn't believe that someone got kidnapped, and like, yeah. So Inko and Sashi wanted him, and they, of course, Inko gave him a hug, as he says, or as Inko was apologizing, so does Hasashi apologize to them, or to him, because they should have known better to, as she knows that he. So yeah. Then, after he was recovering from that little incident thing, as Todoroki was training with his fire, as he couldn't believe that his own friend willingly to. It was the next day, so it was training. So go to the camp part, but Inko, really did care about them. So All Might, he knows that Zuko will be fine. Then the camp arc happened. Then the raid arc. And then, but Zuko's his entire body acted up. As he as there was one clone that he did clone himself to do. As All for One goes, shoots the Omega beam. At All Might, but it got stopped by the clone of Zuko. As he says, looks like my master. Thank goodness he sent me to save your life, All Might. I am the clone, Zuko, called number 20,000 sextillion tons, .2 or .1. So yeah, he basically is the strongest one. My original plan was to have him like stop the, or like he gets out of bed as his, because when they, in his dream, he was that creature, as the doctor told him that, you know why I chose you than anyone else? Because I know that you have the powers of searing flames. As he, right, let's do that. So he transformed his entire body, or it transformed his entire body, flew out, and then he became the Lord of Searing Flames, none of the destruction, as he like goes and his entire body, I mean, he shields the attack from All Might, or from All for One, as he looks at All for One and tells him that you did this to me. Prepare to die by my own hands. As All Might looks up, as they see how devastating, or everyone couldn't believe that this kid, as Zuko had fire in his eyes, as he used all of his power, blast the All for One, and bite down on his, and like when he transformed into a half version, like hybrid of it, he says, it's time for you to die. As Zuko grabs the All for One's mask, rips the head off of the All for One's body, and he even reached in to grab the quirk, immortal quirk that kept All for One alive all these years, as he destroys it, and with his power, and that is my revenge. As he says that, and that is my revenge on you All for One, or ruining my clones of me. Take me, as they know that he's not monologuing, but he's just so angry. So his body, or All for One's body, is like, as only one place that I will never want to see it ever again. As he transforms into a big one, as he ate the entire All for One's body, honey. As he goes, lays in the forest away from everyone, sleeping, as yeah. So the Momo actually, or actually Inko, or they went, checked, or like they went, walked up slow to make sure they don't want to wake him up. So yeah. So they, and even Stars and Stripes was there. They, she, it was one of the days when she showed up. And when she did, she knew that. So they didn't want to make him any more test subject. Like getting tested on constantly. As he goes to sleep, and Zumi, or not Zumi, Inko walks over slowly so that doesn't spook him, as she pets his front nose, or pets him, and like, you're gonna be okay, as it fades, like basically in front of, it's just like how that is, but Inko sees him slowly transforming back into his old self. And yeah. Then Inko picks him up with it, of course, to go back home and lay in bed. As they can't believe that, as his wishes were, he wanted to become a pro hero. As Ochako tells, like, Zumi, that, and before I had this little crush on your brother, as Inko, no, Zumi couldn't believe. You did? Yes. I know that he's in my life. I know that there was clones of him. And Chaco knows that they know that he is the most caring person. So, yeah. And no, this is not gonna be I'm not gonna just add like what I did with whatever Zuko, who had where is it? I didn't want him to have like flippin' her, because yeah. So this is my opinion. So yeah. So oh yeah, Ochako was talking as Maya or Mina like says, "Huh, that's funny. I wanted to date him too when I saw how many clones that he had." Yeah, as between her and Ochako, and guess who's a third one? If you haven't seen it, it's her. Me three. As he got up, as his body was aged up, he still has that goofy hair thing. As they asked him to go get married, or married to them, and like dating them, and then yeah. So, and during the overhaul fight thing, I'm skipping the ball throw, or dodgeball. So Zuko was basically did like he says, "I'll take care of this." As Zuko was in his Overhaul was in his monster form. Zuko was in his dragon form, or whatever. As he's beats the snot out of Overhaul, like throws him around, and he took out his anger on Overhaul because of his past thing. As yeah. Then when after that, Zuko did save now. And then when Ochako and Momo and Mina, I think that's how you pronounce her name, the pink-haired girl, so they basically got married and had 2 kids each, so that makes it 6 kids. And they all hang around with Zuko because to get better know actual him, like real him, not the clone of him. So yeah. Because plus he's, as it was, every time someone mentions and then take the kids to the court doctor. Okay. And you should go to see a doctor, as it breaks him. As they know that don't say doctor because it reminds him of that terrible guy that looks like a fat piece of chicken nugget. But in this drawing, I just realized he looks like the Dr. Eggman, like, "I will get you, Sonic. And Nick, one day I'll get you. Come here." So yeah. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and everything in between. And do you like these pictures? I can do more of those. Like, I can do more of this. And don't worry about I was trying to find, like, how, like, Ochako was. Yeah. So, now, peace out, Cub Scout.